going on? Uh, I wanted to document a little phenomena that I witnessed, and it's like lately, man. I've been seeing a spirit of there's a spirit of anger, and then some I see helplessness, and then others just rebelliousness. Look at this little kitty scratching my arm. Hey. But anyway, uh, it was weird, man. I saw the other day, man. It was like, you know, I saw one guy have an issue where I actually saw someone. It got into a semi-confrontational, like physical. You know what I'm saying? Which is, and it was crazy the way it happened. It was just like woo. It just came out of nowhere, like a tornado, I guess. And then I was talking to my buddy on the phone, man. He was having this issue, man. He was just, and he was venting to me about his frustrations. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, uh, I mean, that's nothing unusual that people have their frustrations and they start getting trippy about it. You know what I mean? So that's nothing unusual. Then I'm talking to my other buddy, and he's just lamenting being alive altogether. You know what I'm saying to me? And then he's venting to me this. Then I'm seeing all these little other contention areas with people, man.
Don't forget.
Uh, and then mom says to me, she says, yeah, man, they just fired up CERN today, and this was right in the middle of all this crazy uh dust, these all this. There was all kinds of like tumult and clamorings. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, because each little situation, though they weren't all connected in little ways, each one of those situations shows you the greater whole, that these little skirmishes are all in the same 24, 36, 72 hour period. Are all it's crazy when you look at it that way, because that's the only the things in which I can see. You know what I'm saying? I can't see into my neighbor's household over there and see if there's what their woes and things in their pains are. You know what I'm saying? You really don't know what they're going through, but the people who I can see it going through, it's just funny. And then like I've heard there's many CERN machines that they can flood an atmosphere and ionize an area, and it can have an effect on mood and behavior. And then I can remember not too long ago there was a day where, or right around the time when I got beamed on Hitler's birthday. You know what I'm saying? It was like there was this mass all of a sudden breakout of contention between people, man. And I seen how they created this miniature CERN machine which creates a field, and it'd basically be like the Prozac field. Basically, you could put it that way. That's the effect it would have on your brain. Instead of chemical, like eating Prozac, it would make your brain do it. It goes electrochemical, because those chemicals create electrical fluctuations, right? Well, this miniature CERN machine that they could just flip a switch in like let's say at University of Michigan Flint, and they can switch the mood generator. Like, let's go to zombie apocalypse violence. Let's go to fear. Let's go to animalistic. Let's go to apathetic. Let's put it on submissive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, literally. And it's like my mom was also telling me, this was a while back. She was talking about them. She goes, man, the government's got something called the nudge program. And what it means is it's like the Minority Report. You know how those advertisements pop out, Mr. Yakuza Homazole. You need a new suit. Basically, it was saying, because he had Japanese dude's eyeballs, and this thing with these sensors, like our cell towers, was reading his eye, his retina, and it was giving him advertisement. You know what I'm saying? So the nudge program is like that, like where the government can beam into your head, pay your taxes. Like you'll be sitting there just watching TV, and then you'll look when a hot chick comes on the TV. All of a sudden, you'll hear inside of your head, pay your taxes. You know what I'm saying? And every time you'll see a hot chick, like you'll be walking down the street and you'll see a hot chick, and then all of a sudden you'll hear inside of your head, pay your taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like basically, like it's something like that. Or like every time they talk about taxes, they'll hit you with the beam, like a little, like they'll hit you with beam on low, so you'd be like, and it's operant conditioning, man. It's Pavlovian dog conditioning. The buzzer, the bell, the stimuli. You know, basically, is that's one of their motives for doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Another one, we've seen it broadcasted over and over again. The zombie malls, man. 28 days later, the rage virus, 12 monkeys, or zombie World War Z, which was basically United Nations zombie propaganda film. You know what I'm saying? Eugenics, United Nation Luciferian propaganda flick. So, but it's crazy. Big CERN, on the other hand, when Big CERN went off, I seen just all kinds of like people. I seen people, so like everyone's like nerves got tweaked, man, got turned up a few notches, and I've been seeing residuals ever since. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's just something to look into. We don't know, and I did see that they're trying to patent a mini CERN machine that makes a field, and they want to put them in colleges, universities, and study the behavioral effects of that these magnetic fields have on human behavior, on the mind, because our mind is electrochemical. You know what I'm saying? So if like I said, they can invade your mind electrically and they can change your chemical component in your mind outside with the electrical force. Normally, when they give you medication, like they want you to be zombie-like, they'll give you fluoride in a pill and you'll eat it, and the chemical has an electrical. It slows down electrical in the mind, the electrochemical speed in which your body communicates with itself. Instead, they go the opposite way. They come outside with this beam like a microwave, fries your brain, shuts off certain electrochemical signals. You get the same effect as Prozac. Either way, it's lobotomy-like. You'll have zombie-like, lobotomy-like. But then you see the naked guys running around, and then the naked people jumping out of 9/11 tower, man, out of the towers. The naked people. Why were people naked jumping out of the towers? And why are there naked people jumping into cars and chewing on people like you see them in Subways? I seen a chick in McDonald's. I seen a dude look like Bone Thugs and Harmony with the afro. I seen a black dude talking about Tupac Biggie Demon. He came running up on a Chinese chick at a golf course. And then you got the first one was the black guy, the naked black guy with the naked white guy. Which, I'm not even sure if it, now that I know that there's crisis actors, you know what I'm saying? Now I look at some of these things and think, maybe, are these just psychological ops, man? Is this just, are these actors? Is this magicianry? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't never give you good enough, no answer they ever try to explain away some of these things is good enough. It always seems like some kind of, there's some kind of agenda, man. Just some kind of like narrative, some kind of engineered crisis, and never let a good crisis go to waste. And that's their motto, not mine. But it's just like propaganda works. Is how you you just repeat a lie, repeat a lie, repeat a lie. Well, this is how you break propaganda and ideological misconceptions. Is you repeat the truth, repeat the truth, repeat the truth, expose the lie, expose the lie. I mean, propaganda and then anti-propaganda are the same thing. It's just you got to get someone to listen. They got to see the message repeated. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's easier just to trick someone with false information with repetition, but to have one person repeat it and then have another person from a different field substantiate it and repeat it. Then you find ancient texts that repeat it. Then you find people on the streets that repeat it. That's not propaganda, man. That's real. That's life experience. That's the force. That's the human element. You know what I'm saying? The free will human element at play out here. When it comes to these things, that we must fight against these powers and principalities and wickedness in high places. I mean, what the hell is the difference between some demon with bat wings and horns and breathes fire when they got a Gwen Tower down the street that can fucking fry you? You know what I'm saying? Just you. You can be in a crowd of people. They have the technology. And this is old World War II technology. They can fry your ass or make you go, ah, and take off your clothes, run around. They'll be like, oh, you're insane. You're on PCP. And then you'll get locked up in the mental ward forever. But it was really, them niggas hit you with some kind of damn ray machine. And then, you know, I mean, the fact that they anytime that they say, oh, that's just conspiracy, that's an indicator right there that it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? Any one times to use you can't use dismissiveness to confirm nor deny something. You know, dismissiveness proves that there's more to look into here. But it's like if anything was true and indeed and right, you would always look at every side, every testimony, and you'd see who be a liar and who not be a liar. You would see what is true. Oh, does cold fusion really work? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Could we make free energy? You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, it's just people don't, they're not privy, man, to how sophisticated this technology is, where they can beam voices into your head. And it's the nudge program is something the government was going to work on to make you pay your taxes. Like I was saying, it was like pay your taxes, like that. Pay your taxes. It's funny, but I mean, if you don't believe in this type of shit, listen. There's I think it's on Holes in Heaven, and it's about HAARP. It's about Nikola Tesla, and it was showing how the Russians had this fucking signal called the woodpecker, and it was like it sounded like knocking, like in a pulse, right? And while I was watching this film, there was a dog sitting next to me, and when the woodpecker signal came on, the dog started going woo, woo, like that. So I mean, look, that shit is legit. I mean, so that's World War, that's Cold War, World War II technology right there. But I mean, if it can make a dog bark, what can it do to a fucking human? You know what I'm saying? You know, so these things do exist, and we don't know. Is this dimensional? Is there extra demonic genies and spirits and fairies and you know, all these entities, ghosts, poltergeists? Is there a heightened sense of this? Because I believe everything's connected. If you know, if one part of mankind is sick, all of mankind is feeling the symptoms of the sickness. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's the same thing. It's like we are. Listen, the man and earth do have a connection. You know what I'm saying? The body does anyway, because we drink the water, we eat the food, we die, we return to the earth. The body does anyway, but the energy goes back to heaven, from which it came, from God. That's what I believe anyway. But see, in the very beginning of the book in Genesis, it talks about the knowledge of good and evil, and then it says, they say man has become like gods now. You know what I'm saying? They know good and evil, and they had to be restrained from things. And we see now, man has become like the gods. You know what I'm saying? The little g gods, like Zeus, like Thor, like Apollyon, Apollo, you know, Krishna, you know what I'm saying, and Kali. You know what I'm saying? In a way, the beast, the system, their confederation. It is like an entity, like a beast. It is like a 7-headed dragon with horns and all that. And it is confederatit is like gods, like Zeus and Apollo. But even though they're not as strong as God, but yet it's still beyond, you know, your regular normal human being. Especially once you dabble down in evil territory, you do get powers for evil. you know, for exceeding evil. And it seems they have broken these barriers, and they do control some of these technologies of the gods, the fallen angels, the Watchers.